अध्यक्ष जी, मेरा जो प्रसंग है वो बहुत ही संक्षेप होगा और वो जो सवाल मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ उसको पूरी तरह से उल्लेख करेगा, तो थोड़ा सा संरक्षण दीजिएगा।
संरक्षण इतना ही है कि
थोड़ा सा संरक्षण दीजिएगा क्योंकि वो सवाल पूछने के लिए जरूरी है। Maldives, India was the 8th country which the new president of Maldives visited after being elected on an Oust India campaign, and that too under very severe economic compulsions. Number 2, Nepal. China was the first country which the newly elected Nepalese Prime Minister visited and signed off on the Belt and Road Initiative. Sri Lanka, 12.95% of Sri Lanka's external debt is still held by China, which gives it economic leverage. मैं सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ सर, मैं सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ सर, मैं सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ, सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ सर, सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ,
हाँ
सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ। Bhutan, the Sino-Bhutan border negotiations are in a very advanced stage, and Doklam is in play, and Bangladesh continues to be in turmoil. My question, therefore, Mr. Minister, is that while India may have a neighborhood first policy, is there any neighbor of India's which has an India first policy?
Sir, I'm very glad that the honorable member referred to visits, timing of visits. Before Prime Minister Narendra Modi went to Nepal, for 17 years there was no visit from India to Nepal. Does that mean that nobody in India cared for Nepal? For Sri Lanka, for 30 years there were no bilateral visits before Prime Minister Modi went there. So visits are important, I accept it. Visits are also subject of timing, of convenience, of agenda. So the honorable member asked, we give them priority, do they give us priority? And the answer is yes, that if one looks at what we do with each of these countries. He referred, sir, to Maldives. With this government in Maldives, we have inaugurated the Adu Link Road and Reclamation Project. I myself went for it. 28 islands there were provided water and sewage facilities. And by the way, the President of Maldives was present at the oath-taking of this new government. So I think the idea, if there is a desire to somehow show the foreign policy of this government in a bad light for political purposes, that is the member's privilege. But then, it is not my nature to make foreign policy partisan. But I would like to remind the honorable member, sir, through you, that the very Maldives he is talking about was also the country from which Indian companies were driven out for an important project in 2012. The same Sri Lanka was the place where Hambantota port was built by the Chinese in 2008. The same Bangladesh was giving support to terrorism till 2014. The same Myanmar was hosting Indian insurgent groups. So if one looks today at the development projects require both sides to cooperate. If one looks today at the number of projects, the volume of trade, the exchanges which are taking place, I think the answer is very clear. Now, our neighbors also have their politics. There are ups and downs in their countries. It will have some implications for us. But it is important we are mature and we don't get into point scoring.